What's going on? This is Kareem from DJBooth.net, and I'm here in the lab to give you guys a really quick rundown video review of the new Adam Audio T7V studio monitor speakers. So what we have here is a 7-inch model of the TV series, and these come from Adam Audio. It's a very high quality brand that makes great studio products for permanent installations. They have different lines of speakers as well that are perfect for different price points or for different sonic acoustics that you guys may need and what you guys want to use them for. So here are the T7Vs. We're definitely going to compare these to the Rocket G7s because those are found everywhere and people readily know how they sound and what to expect from them. And these might not be so prominent in the field out there, but they're definitely gaining a lot of traction because they're a very good high quality monitor, definitely better than what you're going to expect to get for that type of price point. So first up, we'll go with the build quality. The build quality of these is really good, really solid build. They're definitely nice and heavy. They feel very sturdy, like they're going to last. The back panel has a full panel that is metal, so that way it's really going to be rugged and durable for those times when you're unplugging and plugging things back in and when you're making all your adjustments. You have a very durable cabinet all around, definitely something that's built to last. The front of it has like a plastic style face to it, and it houses the flat style tweeter that's proprietary towards Adam Audio, and they also have their 7-inch woofer in there as well. Around the back you have your bass port, then you have your high frequency 0, -2, +2, so that way you can change the high frequency cutoff points. You also have low frequency adjust, which is plus or minus 2 dB, and 0 in the middle as well. And then you have your volume control knob in the rear also. It's unfortunate that you don't have any volume control knobs or any power indicators on the front. The power indicator LED is also on the back here, but you know, you get used to it when you have most of the studios out there that don't have any style of front type of controls. So you just have to have these up against the wall, but not too close against the wall, because again, you have that bass port back here, and all of your controls are going to be in the rear of the unit as well. You also have your power switch on and off. And then you have your inputs, which are either balanced XLR, and then you have your unbalanced RCA. I also wish that they had a balanced TRS here, just so they can represent all three of the major inputs that most of these type of speakers have. Of course, the KRKs have all three of those, and the KRK also has the different frequency cutoffs within a digital display now with the new models that they have out. But this definitely gets the job done, and it definitely changes the sound and makes the sound different based on the different room settings that you're in. Again, they only have the RCA here and they have the XLR. They don't have a TRS, but they do have a switch here, so that way you can switch them between the unbalanced input or the balanced input. You're definitely going to get a little bit better sound from the balanced input depending on your setup and what your application is. So next up is the sound quality. Of course, everybody wants to know exactly how these sound. These are some really great sounding speaker monitors. They have a nice warm sound to them. They are a little bit rounded. They're not super flat like the Yamahas, but they're nowhere near as rounded and as bass heavy or as, how can I say, muddying the bass as the KRK range is. These have a much more smooth bass. They do have a nice impact to the bass. You do get a nice reverberation to them, but you never lose the sense of bass, or they never go overboard with the roundness of the bass. The highs and mids are very crisp, very clear. Everything sounds HD, like an HD style sound, very high resolution. The proprietary tweeters that they have here, the art flat ribbon tweeters that they have here, are excellent. They just look the part and they sound really well, very crisp, even crisper highs and mids than the KRKs. And these are also very loud as well. They have a lot of punch to them depending on how you have that volume level indicator switched up to. They really sound great and they really fill your room with sound, and you really don't even need an extra subwoofer with these. They just have a nice tight bottom end that really sounds punchy when you need it to come through. So in conclusion, the Adam Audio T7Vs are a really good, solid option for anybody who wants to mix music, make music, and also for DJs who just want a nice thump when they're also playing back their records or their DJ gigs and they just want to practice on their own. You don't want to take these out to your gigs because they're not crazy like that. You need pro audio speakers for that. But for doing your own home studio gigs and your own home studio use, these are going to really do well for you. They have excellent build quality. They're built very solid. They also have really great sound quality with nice crisp mids and highs and a nice punchy bass without being too overly crazy and too over the top. They also have really good performance at high volumes, so they really will fill your room with sound, and you really don't need a subwoofer at all with these at all. You also have the high frequency adjust and the low frequency adjust, so that way you can shape this sound exactly to what you guys need for your own listening environment. And that cool art ribbon style tweeter looks really cool here in my opinion, and it really performs very well, and it sounds better than most of the other 1-inch silk dome tweeters that most other speakers use. On the downside, there is no TRS input on the back, so you have to make do with just your RCA and your XLR. There's also no front-facing bass ports, so you have to have room against your wall, so that way this can freely move and bounce the bass air as needed. And they also don't have any volume controls or power indicators or on and off switches on the front, so you always have to make sure you have room in the back, so that way you can make all of those adjustments and changes as you need on the fly. Another minor point here, not really a downside, they're not super flat like the Yamahas or like some other studio monitors when you want them to be super absolutely flat. These do have some coloring to them, but I like the coloring personally, and these are definitely going to be my new go-to studio monitors for day-to-day use. So for more on the written review, you guys can head on over to www.djbooth.net/DJS. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up if you like videos like this one. Make sure you subscribe because we have at least like 8 more videos coming out just before the holidays. So make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe as always. Thanks for watching.